Welcome everybody, class is in session at the Braeburn Blue Link Salas Studios. Hey class, today we're going to go over a common topic, setting up your daily program schedule. Programming. So with a programmable thermostat, you can set a daily or weekly program schedule that allows you to have different temperature set points for different times of the day that may coincide with your work or school schedule, sleeping times, and so on. And you can program your thermostat to change the temperature set point to accommodate these different time frames during the day. I'm going to demonstrate this on our model 4030. This process is similar for the 4235 as well. Those are essentially the same model as far as program. Default program is for 7 days. There is a 5-2 option that gives you weekday and weekend schedules, and I can show you a little bit about that at the end of the video, but we're going to get into it. I've got a 4030 set up right here. Let me wheel it in. Model 4030 right here. It's currently sitting at 70 degrees, and you can see the time here shows 6:40 a.m. First thing you want to do is make sure that your clock time is correct. If your clock time is not correct, then of course your program schedule is not going to reflect and operate or execute as you want because it's based off of this clock. So let's set the clock first. You press and release the menu button and you get your option to set time. And you'll see the 6 is blinking. Your blinking character is the item number that you can change. So right now where I'm at, we're going to take this up to 10 because it's 10 o'clock. This button here where it says next, this is going to be our next button. We press that and the minutes will start flashing. We need to adjust that to 10:45. Here's your AM PM indicator. That will change with your hour. So as you cycle through, if you need to set your clock to PM, keep going until you get to PM. Press next again, and it's the day of the week. Pressing the up or down button will cycle you through the various days. You want to set your day of the week properly. After you've set that, you can hit return, and that will exit from your clock set menu. Now, the first thing we want to do is decide whether we're doing a heating program or a cooling program. So it's the same for either process, but you need to put your thermostat into the mode that you're trying to program for. Press your system button, and you can see it now says heat. We're in the heat mode. Indicates heat right here. Our current set point is 62. You can see that it's Monday and the day portion of the schedule. So your program schedule has 4 time frames, and they're labeled morning, day, evening, and night. And we need to set a start time and a temperature for each of the 4 time frames in that schedule. Right now, this thermostat is currently in the daytime portion. So where it says day, that's indicating that we're in the daytime portion of the schedule. Now, to set your program schedule, you can do it one of 2 different ways. You can do 7 individual days where each day of the week has its own unique schedule, or you can do all 7 days with the same schedule. So if you wanted to do individual days, you would simply press the program button once to start the programming sequence. And when you do that, it's going to say edit Monday. And then you could start that process. You would press where it says next, and it's going to start you with the Monday morning time. 6 a.m., maybe we want to change it to 7 a.m. Then you press next, and the minutes will flash. You can adjust your minutes in 10-minute increments. Let's set it to 7:20. Then you press next, and the temperature will start flashing. Let's set our temperature to 73 for Monday morning. Press next again, and your fan mode will start blinking. Typically, most people are going to leave that set to auto, but if you use the up and down, you could set the fan mode to on, or circulate, or auto. So that means if we set it to on, when the morning program executes, your fan is going to stay on constantly, whether or not there's a call for heat. Maybe you like that. Maybe that's not for you, but you can at least make that adjustment here. So we're going to leave that on auto. Then when you press next, it takes us now to the Monday day program. So the day program will come after the morning program. This is set for 8. Let's change it to 9. Press next. The minutes start flashing. Let's go to 9:30. Press next. And we can set our temperature. Let's set it to 76. Okay, 76. Press next again. And of course, the fan mode blinks, and you can set your fan mode for that period, the day period. Next again will get you evening. So this is going to be an evening program. By default, it comes up with 6 p.m. Let's change it to 5 p.m. Press next. Minutes are flashing. Set it to 5:10. Next again. The temperature starts flashing. We'll set it to 71 for the evening. Next again. Fan mode is blinking. Adjust your fan mode if you want. Next again, Monday night. So this might be your sleeping hours. 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock p.m. Next. We'll set the minutes. Let's go to 11:50, so almost midnight. Then next again, set temperature. Maybe at night we want it really cold, so we set it to 60. Press next again. Fan mode blinks. Change that if you want to. Leave it set at auto, whatever is your preference. Next again, now we go to Tuesday, and we would repeat the process for Tuesday. This way you can have a different schedule on Tuesday than you had on Monday. If your work or your school schedule or personal preference, whatever, you have the ability to set individual days, each with their own program. The other option is to just do all 7 days with the same program. That's what we call speed set. It allows you to go through the process once, but have it apply to all 7 days. So I'm going to go through that. Process is very similar, but the way you get into it is different. So to do the individual days, you simply press the menu button and let go. Or not menu, the program button. Press the program button and let go. That gives you edit an individual day. But if you press the program button and hold it down, about 5 seconds, now it says all days. So this means the program schedule is going to apply to all 7 days. And then the process is the same. Next, we're going to set our morning schedule. So this might be the time you wake up in the morning. Maybe you wake up at 5 o'clock and you want to get the house warmed up before you get out of bed. Set it to 5. Next, set your minutes. Let's set them to 510. Next, set our temperature. We want to have it nice and toasty warm when we get out of bed. 78 degrees. Okay. Press next again. Of course, the fan mode. Leave that set on auto. Next again, be daytime. So maybe now you're already up, you're out of bed, but you're going to work. You're leaving the house. There's no sense in heating the house all day while you're gone. Maybe you leave for work by 8 o'clock in the morning. We'll just leave it at 8. 8 o'clock in the morning. Next. Minutes flash. Next. We'll set our temperature down to 68 during the course of the day when we're not at home. 68 degrees seems like a good temperature. Next again, temperature or fan mode blinks. Next again, this is evening, so this might be the time you get home from work. Maybe you want to get the heat started before you get home. If you usually get home at 5:30, maybe you want to set it for 5 p.m. Set it for 5. Next. Minutes. Adjust them as needed. Next again. Temperature starts flashing. And now we're back home, and we just want to have it at 75 in the evening when we're home. Comfortable temperature. Looks good. Next again. Fan mode blinks. Change that if you want. Next again, night. So this again could be your sleeping hours. Maybe you want to have it cooler while you're sleeping. And maybe you go to bed at 9:45 or 9:50. Let's set it to, we'll go with 9 o'clock. Next, 9:30. 9:30 we start cooling the house down. Next, set our temperature. So this is going to be our sleeping hours. Maybe we set it for 68 while we're sleeping. So at night while we're sleeping, it goes down to 68. Press next. Fan mode starts blinking. Next. And we're done. We've done our whole week with a schedule for morning, day, evening, and night temperatures that reflect our personal schedule or our personal needs, whatever it is that we want. So now our program schedule will follow the same program for all 7 days of the week. So you've got two options again. 7-day programming, 7 individual days, or 7 days as a week, all with the same schedule. To get individual days, just press the program button and let go. It'll show you Edit Monday, then it will take you through Edit Tuesday, and so on. If you want to do all the days at once, press and hold the program button until it says All Days, and then go through the programming sequence in the same fashion. Now, I'd mentioned earlier that there's a 5-2 option. A 5-2 option allows you to program Monday through Friday with one schedule, and then Saturday and Sunday with a different schedule. And we can change this format in the installer setup menu. So I'll take you through that real quick. Let's go back to our thermostat. So to get into the installer menu, you press and hold this menu button for about 5 seconds until the screen changes. First item shows up, mode residential. Press next, and this takes us to our program days. You have an option of 7 days, which is the default, which is what we have been doing already. But if we use the up and down arrow key, we can change it to 5-2. With 5-2, that gives us the 5 weekdays and then the 2 weekends as a different program schedule. So if you want to do a 5-2 format, you change it here. Once you've changed it here, exit the menu by pressing the return button. Now, when we launch the program, it's going to show you weekdays. Press next, and it's the same process. You go through setting morning, day, evening, and night in the same fashion, but this will apply to just the weekdays. As you go through that, then it will present you with an option to do the weekend, Saturday and Sunday. Same process as all the programming that we've been doing. Follow your flashing character, setting the hours, minutes, and temperature, then fan mode for each of the events. So this allows you to do a 5-2 schedule format. That's the basics of how to set your program schedule on Model 4030 and Model 4235. This concept is very similar for many of our models, although some of them may have different buttons to press to move through. Same concept. If you got questions about it, you can always call tech support. You can find this information in your user manuals. The program schedule information is in the user manuals, not the installer guides. User manuals show you how to go through your program schedule. The thermostat will have a default program schedule from the factory, so it will operate a program schedule right out of the box. You can also disable the program schedule completely if you don't want to use it. And that I'll show you real quick as well. That's also going to be back in that installer menu. Press and hold the menu button until it changes. Mode residential, press next. Program days 5-2. Our other option was 7. We can go to 5-2, or we can go program no. If you choose program no, that completely disables your program schedule. And now there is no program schedule. It just indicates Monday. It doesn't indicate day, morning, evening, anything here. There's no program schedule. If you try to press the program button, it'll say disabled, indicating that the program schedule has been disabled. So in the event that you don't want to use a program schedule, you can completely disable that functionality and it will just operate like a normal manual thermostat. Okay, class, thanks for watching. Good information. If you need any more assistance, dial us on the hotline. We'll be glad to help you.